Welcome back to Eternal Bible Stories. In our last episode, Jacob fled from Esau and encountered God in a dream, receiving a promise that would shape his journey. Now that journey continues in the land of Haran, where love, labor, and divine guidance will transform his life. This is the story of Genesis chapters 29 through 31, a tale of wives, wages, and wrestling with God's plan. Jacob continued on his journey and came to a well in the land of the eastern peoples. There he met shepherds and asked, "Do you know Laban, the son of Nahor?" "Yes," they replied. "Look, here comes his daughter Rachel with the sheep." When Jacob saw Rachel, he went over and rolled the stone from the well and watered her flock. Then he kissed her and wept aloud. Rachel ran home to tell her father. Laban hurried out to meet Jacob and welcomed him into his home. Jacob stayed with Laban for a month. Then Laban said, "Just because you are a relative of mine, should you work for me for nothing? Tell me what your wages should be." Now Laban had two daughters. Leah, the older one, had weak eyes, but Rachel had a lovely figure and was beautiful. Jacob was in love with Rachel and said, "I'll work for you 7 years in return for your younger daughter Rachel." Laban agreed. So Jacob worked 7 years, but they seemed like only a few days to him because of his love for her. But on the wedding night, Laban gave his daughter Leah to Jacob instead. In the morning, Jacob said to Laban, "What have you done to me? I worked 7 years for Rachel. Why have you deceived me?" Laban replied, "It is not our custom to give the younger daughter in marriage before the older one. Finish this week with Leah, and then I'll give you Rachel also, if you work another 7 years. Jacob agreed. He married Rachel a week later and worked another 7 years. Because Jacob loved Rachel more than Leah, the Lord saw that Leah was not loved and enabled her to conceive. Leah gave birth to Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. Rachel remained childless and became jealous. She gave her servant Bilhah to Jacob, and Bilhah bore Dan and Naphtali. Leah gave her servant Zilpah, and Zilpah bore Gad and Asher. Then Leah had 2 more sons, Issachar and Zebulun, and a daughter, Dinah. Finally, God remembered Rachel and listened to her. She gave birth to a son and named him Joseph, saying, "May the Lord add to me another son." After Joseph was born, Jacob said to Laban, "Send me on my way so I can return to my homeland. Give me my wives and children, for whom I have served you." But Laban said, "If I have found favor in your eyes, stay. The Lord has blessed me because of you." So they agreed on new wages. Jacob would keep the speckled and spotted livestock. Jacob used wise breeding techniques, and his flocks increased greatly. He became very wealthy, and Laban's sons grew jealous. Then the Lord said to Jacob, "Go back to the land of your fathers and to your relatives, and I will be with you." Jacob called Rachel and Leah to the fields and told them what God had said. They agreed, saying, "Do whatever God has told you." So Jacob took his wives, children, and possessions and left without telling Laban. But Rachel stole her father's household idols. 3 days later, Laban found out and pursued Jacob. God came to Laban in a dream and said, "Be careful not to say anything to Jacob, either good or bad." When Laban caught up to Jacob, he confronted him. Jacob explained why he had left secretly and denied stealing the idols. Laban searched everywhere but did not find them because Rachel had hidden them. Then Jacob became angry and said, "I have worked for you for 20 years. Your ewes and female goats never miscarried, and I never ate your rams. I bore the loss myself, and you changed my wages 10 times. If the God of my father had not been with me, you would have sent me away empty-handed." Laban answered, "These women are my daughters, and these children are my grandchildren. But what can I do today? Let's make a covenant." They set up a stone pillar and made an agreement of peace. Jacob offered a sacrifice, and they ate a meal together. Early the next morning, Laban kissed his daughters and grandchildren and blessed them. Then he returned home. And so ends the story of Jacob's years in Haran, of hard labor, broken trust, and a faithful God who leads his people home. If this story reminded you that God works through even the most difficult seasons, please like the video and subscribe to our channel for more timeless Bible stories brought to life. We'll be back soon with the next episode, as Jacob faces the brother he once betrayed. Until then, may the eternal word guide you.